Can you think of the last time somebody got under your skin and pushed your buttons and how you felt? It's like we want to take action. What happens is adrenaline and cortisol, these two enzymes, get released into our systems, and those enzymes, you know what adrenaline does to you? And cortisol is a stress hormone. If we have too much of it, it can really affect us. We feel all stress. This is what happens to our brains if we let somebody get under our skin. The red literally is blood. If I let somebody push my buttons, that button gets pushed so that the blood in my brain drains right down to the most primitive part of myself. The most primitive part of myself is called the amygdala gland, and all the amygdala gland knows how to do is to tell me to get out of there, flight, or fight back, or somehow respond defensively. And if I'm doing that, I'm not at my best. Have you seen somebody have a road rage thing on the highway? Oh my God, what happens to them? Do they care? In that moment, they just want to do what? They just want to get even. That's when the amygdala gets taken over. We can't think straight. We want to fight back. What we need to do is keep the blood from draining, which means if I see crazy coming down the street, I got to do something with myself so that I don't get to that state. Because what I need to do is have the brain totally functioning well, which means the blood goes to all parts of the brain, including if you put your hand on your forehead right here, that's called the executive function of the brain. That's what we need to get back to, because that's the part that helps us smile, helps us have a sense of humor, helps us be generous, helps us not worry. But if the blood's all draining out of here, look, there's no blood left here. So the bottom line we need to do is to help to take action so the blood will flow to the executive function, which is where we can solve problems, we can be upbeat, we can have a sense of humor, and we can feel serene because we're firing on all cylinders. But here, we can't handle things. The brain research says if we can laugh at ourselves, we will go right back to that part of our brain that has all the blood flowing to it, right here. Laughter spreads the blood out so we can think straight, because we don't take ourselves so seriously. If I take myself too seriously and I get scared, I get down into this little person, like a child that can't really, is scared, can't communicate. Has anybody in here ever been called a glorified babysitter? Wave at me. Oh yeah? So when you get called a glorified babysitter, you know there are even t-shirts like this. You know what you can say? Let's read this out loud together. I have never sat on a baby in my life, and I don't intend to. Thank you. That will turn that around.